It's the Sports Kings. Sports Kings.
He might fall off the wagon in the next 10 minutes.
And Rob Calloway.
It's about bringing talent. It's not about all the flash and glitz and glam.
Not your average sports talk show. The Sports Kings.
This is NFL legend, Work Done.
This your boy D. Howard, a.k.a. Superman.
I'm Jerome Bettis, the bus.
It's Cam Newton. Holla at your boy already.
This is Hank Aaron, and I'm down with the King.
Tell a friend, Kings is back.
And welcome into a Tuesday, Sports Kings Live. Big Mike, Rob Calloway here as usual. We're being broadcasted via Spreaker.com and the Spreaker app for your Windows, Apple, your Android device, any mobile device that you use. Go ahead and download that. Search Sports Kings Live. Then follow us. And after you follow us, join the conversation Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. by clicking the little thought bubble. And you guys can join the interactive chat room and get your thoughts known and have your own independent chats within the chat room as well. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr at Sports Kings Live. Our email address, sportskingslive@gmail.com. Yes, okay. Rob, how are you, sir? Let's get the pleasantries out the way first, and we'll move forward with the show.
Very well. Very well. How are you today?
Good. My chilling. Last night we had, they had, you guys, some of you had the home run derby. I've got a couple of thoughts on it, not anything in particular. I didn't watch it, by the way. I was watching, I guess it was on during the show while we were on, but I was looking at my dude, Andrew Zimmern, and the Bizarre Foods. I was checking that out while.
What restaurants you said he was in Atlanta. What restaurants did he go to?
He went to, was it Mary Mac's?
Oh, okay.
I think he went to Mary Mac's.
Bizarre about Mary Mac.
He went to this one dude that he just does peach cobbler. That's the only thing he does is peach cobbler. And he went somewhere else. I can't remember.
Was it a black dude that does the peach cobbler?
Black dude with a beard, heavyset dude,
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Okay.
Michael Bernard.
Sounds orgasmic.
Oh, my God. Hey, boy.
All right, pull your pants back up, Rob. We're doing a show.
Hey, man, you talking about a piece of heaven down. Like, for real, like, hey, man. Look, man.
Yeah, it's a great story. I mean, the dude was homeless, dude. He was homeless, and then he just started peddling.
If every female, no, man.
Yeah. It's way early, dude. We're like 3 minutes in. All right.
Hey, if every female could cook peach cobbler like that, it'd be a lot of happy men around. How about that?
Some females can do other things. I'm just going to say that. We got got a bunch of NFL news to talk about today. I'm going to introduce you guys to the Chitza. It's so ridiculous that I have to talk about it today. The SBs are tomorrow. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we'll give you guys some of the categories and some of the favorites to win those specific categories today as well. The NFL, the NBA, competition committee in English, met today to discuss a couple of rules as far as, changing playoff seeding and the hacker whomever rules. We'll discuss those a little bit today, as well as Pete Rose is back in the news again. Not really back in the news, but he's going to be at the All-Star game today, seeing as though it's in Cincinnati, and it's kind of weird, and we'll discuss some of that weirdness as we get to that portion of the show. But today, I think I wanted to start off in the NFL. We hadn't done this in a while. We hadn't really. Oh, also today was day number 2 of SEC Media Day, and coaches came out, had their swag on 100,000 trillion, certain coaches, and we'll have a little fun with that as well. Of course, we'll do on this day at some point during the show. If I forget, Rob will always remind me, and we'll get it done. But today, we're going to start off in the NFL, and I wanted to kind of bring it home a little bit, man. Kind of give today's show, especially in this aspect, in this category of conversation, a little local feel. Everyone knows tomorrow, or if you follow the NFL, tomorrow is the deadline for players who have been assigned the franchise tag by their prospective teams to either sign the tender, or either sign a long-term deal or one cannot be signed until next year. A couple of the guys we're talking about is Justin Houston out in Kansas City, Jason Pierre-Paul, who, by the way, was not released. What is it called when you get let go from the hospital, Rob?
Release.
But it's another word.
Discharge.
Thank you.
Discharge.
There you go. Discharge.
Your favorite word. Your favorite word.
Well, it depends. It depends. Sometimes that can mean bad news for the players. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. You're such an idiot. By the way, I'm not the one that said it. It was Alec that said it. I just got in trouble for it.
Oh, it was Alec that
right.
said it. Oh.
I just got the write-up for it. It's weird stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul was discharged from the hospital, but he's another guy who has a franchise tender that's on the table to be signed. Bebe Demaryius Thomas of the Denver Broncos also, and Des Bryant, the four notable names. Everyone's seeming to say, all the pundits, the insiders are seeming to think this Justin Houston deal is going to get done. He obviously doesn't want to get paid as a linebacker because, I mean, the kid's a pass rusher. In my mind, he broke the sack record last year. That Michael Strahan thing is ridiculous to me, so I don't even recognize it. So, in all honesty, Justin Houston, former UGA product or a UGA product. He's not a former. He's a product of UGA. He broke the NFL sack record, and he wants to get paid. He sees what J.J. Watt, guys like Ndamukong Suh, guys who wreak havoc on NFL offenses are making, and he wants his coin, his scratch, to be on par with them. But the word is that deal has the best possibility of getting done. Then there's Jason Pierre-Paul, who was probably going to happen with him. Well, what he said, it's reported that his people said is that he won't sign the franchise tender until he's sure he can pass the New York Giants physical. And that's because if he signs it, then he has to come to practice. And if he has to come to practice and he can't practice, well, then they put him on the physically unable to perform list, the PUP list. If they put him on the PUP list, he's on the bench for 6 weeks, mandatory. And that means, guess what? No checks for 6 weeks. So it's incumbent upon him to get his situation in order, whatever rehab, because not only is the finger had to be amputated, he had to get his thumb surgically reconstructed.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Reconstructed, is that what I'm saying? Reconstructed?
Reconstructed, yeah. That's what they said. I mean, I read about that yesterday. They said that not only did he have, I guess the explosion broke the bone. Yeah. Broke the bone in his thumb. But they said not only was it the bone, but like right at the joint, like where your thumb bends at both spots, that those nerves those nerves were seeing. Ooh. Like, you know, because what they called it, they compared it to what the Army calls oh my God, I can't think of what it is, but it's an Army terminology basically where when you get hit, you know, either with shrapnel from a bomb or whatever, something explosive, when it touches you, the type of burn that you end up receiving, like, you know,
because it's so damn hot.
Sometimes the finger looks okay on the outside, but on the inside it's completely burnt up.
Wow.
So so he had so his thumb is the biggest thing. They said he could play fine without the index finger if he hadn't had that thumb damage, the nerve damage.
Yeah, because I actually did it. I actually tried to get down in the stance with just curling my finger, my index finger, and I was like, yeah, you can do that. But yeah, that thumb, once you don't have that anchor, it's a problem because of, oh man, that's $14-point-something million that's sitting there, man. Not to mention the $60 million extension that was sitting on the table as well. So that's unfortunate for him. Now, there's Demaryius Thomas and Des Bryant, who are pretty much in the same boat a little bit, to the point where the NFLPA has filed collusion charges against the Dallas Cowboys and the Denver Broncos. And now the NFL is telling both teams, don't do anything with your phone records. We might need to see that, because if they're having conversations about these guys, if they're having any conversations about the compensation for these guys, that's all they need for collusion to be happening. And that, my friend, is a problem. because if it's a situation where, like, you can say everybody's waiting on this other person to sign. We do it all the time on this show. This person's waiting on that person to sign to kind of set the market or whatnot. But if you're actually conversating about it, if Stephen Jones and John Elway are actually on the phone saying, you know what, yeah, man, we're not paying Dez more than 12 a year. That's not happening. Well, shoot, then we're not paying Demaryius any more than 12, 13 at the most. And I'm just giving you this fake conversation because that's how I would assume it would happen. You know, these guys are getting together and saying, you know, they're trying to reset the market basically. And what I heard today was that the Cowboys are trying to make sure that the contract is set up in a way where if anything were to happen, they'd recoup money. You know, and this is that greed part. When the players were locked out and all this stuff was going on in negotiations, the one thing I continue to say about any labor negotiations in professional sports, the rich people will always win. And if they don't, they'll still try to come back and get their money some way. And this is a perfect example of it. There's no way in hell that you're telling me that because my pay started off lower based on a deal that I didn't negotiate. Remember, the rookie pay scale was negotiated by veterans for dudes who weren't in the league yet. So it's not my fault that I didn't get broke off like Matt Stafford or Sam Bradford. It's not my fault. It just happened to fall that way. And
that's kind of that. You know, that's a conundrum right there, brother. Because it's like, how do you, like just use Sam Bradford as an example, right? Mm-hmm. When Sam Bradford came in and broke the bank, right? Was Sam Bradford the last one, or was it Matthew Stafford?
Whichever one of those two came last was the last one.
I think it was Bradford.
That makes sense.
I think it was Sam Bradford, if I'm not mistaken. But it's one of those things where, like, Sam Bradford has not even lived up to any part of that contract, right? In my opinion, like you draft somebody first round, you pay them that amount of money, you at least expect them to be on the field. You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, and when you perform at a high level, and I would say that Dez Bryant has performed at a very high level for the Dallas Cowboys,
the highest.
I think that there have to be exceptions to the rules. I mean, you know, if this dude that came out, you know, and underperformed, then I could see where, you know, how we could be at this stalemate, right? I could totally understand that. But just the fact that, you know, he is Dez, and, you know, he has put up numbers for the Cowboys and been, you know, their best receiver. Like, I don't think it's right, you know, that you try to find a way to be able to undercut the man. I mean, if he, you know, that's, and then to use the pay scale, again, that's one of those things where I hate the business that is the NFL. I love football, but I hate the business that is the NFL.
Because if I'm Dez, all I'm going to do, I'm going to point at two things if I'm Dez Bryant, right? Because in one hand, if you're saying you're worried about my off-field problems and all this kind of stuff, well, here's the deal. You just signed Greg Hardy, and you just drafted Randy Gregory. What you worrying about me for? I've been here doing work. Secondly, if you want to talk to me about where my pay started and it can't escalate that much, have you met Cam Newton? Have you met that guy? You know what I mean? Yeah, he came in on the rookie wage scale too. Now he's getting paid the same as all these other dudes that play his same position. That's going to be my argument for you telling me that I can't get paid like Calvin Johnson because or Larry Fitzgerald because I didn't come in around the time I came in after them and there was a wage scale put in place. Well, Cam Newton's people didn't seem to have that problem. Yeah, he got paid what the market is. The market currently is. You can't just readjust the market because you got a bargain at the beginning. That's the problem with this Russell Wilson thing. Like the Seattle Seahawks just got to figure it out now. You've used up your coupons. You know what I mean? You got a starting Super Bowl winning quarterback in the third freaking round. Yeah,
$749,000 is what that dude will make this year.
The coupon has expired. Now you got to pay full freight.
I mean, not only one, but he's been the two.
Yeah.
I mean, and back to back. And then it's like...
And he's one bad call away from winning it. Winning 2 Super Bowls, dude.
Right. And you saw